Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Happy New Year. Today I'm going over a back and triceps workout that I did. Here you see me warming up. So what I'm doing is some single arm rows. I mentioned it in another video. I think that I really like doing the single arm rows, and one of the reasons is because you really do get to isolate the muscle, the particular side of your back, and really tense it up. So that's something that I really enjoy on it. So in this one, I'm going pretty lightweight. Like I said, I'm just kind of warming up, getting the muscle ready to go, and then here in a little bit, I'll end up putting a little bit more weight on. Here I added some weight. I think I got like 45 on each side right here. It's still relatively light. It's enough to where I can knock out quite a few reps, which is really what I focus on. And that's one thing I will say is, if you're focused on trying to build muscle, one of the biggest things is just to put the muscle through a lot of tension, a lot of reps. That's one thing that's worked for me. I mean, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, of course, but I have built some muscle over the years, and part of the reason why, especially recently, that I've had the growth that I've had is partly because of that, is because of the fact that I really put the muscle through a good amount of tension, and I stretch it out. And I could have stretched a little bit more here, but in general, if you stretch out the muscle and you work from a stretch, and then you also get really good contractions and a lot of reps, you'll do pretty good. All right, guys, so this next one I'm doing is the double arm seated row on the I don't know how you call it. I guess just a seated row machine, but really focusing on getting that stretch, as you can tell. Really going all the way out, trying to get the arms extended out that way, and trying to keep my back as straight as possible when I'm doing it. As you can tell, I don't really lean back a lot when I'm doing this exercise, and the reason why I don't is because it's not a lower back exercise. It's a middle and upper back exercise, and so I really do try to focus on that. So here I'm doing 100, a little bit heavier. It's 100 is a good weight. It's got a good amount of challenge to it, not too heavy, but it's also not too light. So it still allows you to rep out quite a few reps before you drain the tank. So I really enjoy doing it. It's one of those things that really helps me to get that stretch in my back really good. All right, so what I did here is I went with a superset for back and triceps. I like to superset triceps because biceps is already getting a workout when you work your back. So since that's the case, since it's already getting a workout when you work your back, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to do biceps and shoulder and back on the same day. So here I'm doing 140 on the row, and as you can tell, it is quite a bit harder to do it with 140. I do have to lean back a little bit here. But even then, I still feel like I'm getting pretty good amount of reps here. Just really trying to get that stretch. Back to the triceps, 80 pounds this time. I'm really focusing on trying to get that stretch at the top, as you can tell. Triceps is, in my opinion, one of my weak points. And I think part of it is that I just don't train them hard enough, or I don't put enough emphasis on them. So I really need to try to put a little more emphasis on them, train them harder, push them, beyond their limits, and they might end up growing pretty good. All right, so here now, back again on the row, lighter weight, and this is just so that I can rep it out. 90 pounds, so I'm really just trying to rep it out and just really trying to put that muscle through its paces and get that stretch at the top and then come all the way back really nice. So it really is one of those things that you just really got to focus on. Back to the tricep extension. Notice I'm using a straight bar here. I like doing the straight bar. I prefer it over ropes, but doing 100 pounds here. And this one, I'm really, really focused on pushing out more and more reps. Pretty much, I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty much out of gas here, and just kind of pump out a few more reps. Really, just try to get as much as I possibly can out of it. But sometimes you're limited by the amount of weight you put on there. All right, so downstairs in the free weight room, and down here doing some bent over rows. Now, I had been doing bent over rows overhand, and I started doing these underhand and really focusing on tightening my back, and I felt like it's really been working good. My biggest concern when it comes to this is rounding of my back. I don't want to be rounding my back when I'm bent over. So the issue is just trying to correct that, trying to make sure I keep an eye on it and don't let it get out of hand. See, even right here, my back is kind of getting rounded a little bit. So I definitely need to look out for that when I'm doing the bent over rows. But overall, it's been a good workout for me. I enjoy it. It really does. You really do feel the back tightening when you come back with your arms, especially if you bring your arms back really, really far, which is what I try to focus on. You can really, really feel those lats just firing like crazy. So it's definitely one of those things that should be incorporated into one of those workouts that should probably be incorporated into your workouts. All right, just getting a little pose here. So that's another thing I would always recommend you guys, man, is get in there and get that pose, man. No matter what people's looking, none of us are perfect. None of us are, Derek Lunsford, except for Derek Lunsford, okay, or Hadi Chupon or Chris Bumstead or any of these other guys. None of us are these guys. So, we're not gonna have that perfect body, that Mr. Olympia body. But that doesn't mean that we can't still get a good pose and show ourselves where we're at, because that's one of the things that really helps us to figure out where we're at is looking at it. Look at the muscle, see what it's doing, okay, and then take inventory of that, and then fix your weak points. So here we got tricep extensions, lying skull crushers, and I like skull crushers a lot. Again, it's one of those that I need to incorporate more, and I also need to make sure that I'm really doing a lot more sets of them, instead of just limiting myself to 2 or 3 sets like I did here. So try to get as many sets as I possibly can, and that's the key. So here I'm kind of fumbling with my my hat and my headphones a little bit, like deciding whether I'm going to wear them. And I decided, because I'm going to be lifting the 70s, I should probably just take them off. And that's probably a better decision in the end. But yeah, so try to get some reps here. My triceps are pretty strong, but like I said, I do feel like they're a weak point, but they are pretty strong considering that. So I'm still able to lift pretty heavy weight with them, and I just gotta focus on them a little bit more and build them up, and they'll get to where I need them to be. And apologize for that little bit of underwear there, Sean. Didn't mean to give you guys a underwear peep show, but yeah. So then I'm repping out a few more reps here, just kind of pressing it, and that's something that I really like to do. Again, just strike a little bit more of a pose, and basically clear it up. So this next one I'm doing is I'm doing the barbell press with the triceps. So notice I'm keeping my arms in. I'm not flaring my arms out. My arms are staying in, kind of like I like to call it T-Rex arms. So bringing them down inside. That way I'm focusing on the tricep mostly. Definitely don't want a lot of chest involvement in it. In this particular motion, though, this is how a lot of people generally do their bench presses. And I don't do bench press like that. I do bench press with a wide arm angle. So this type of angle right here is specifically for me for doing triceps. So lowering the weight. This here is just went from 25 or 35 to 25 to 20 to 10, and then pretty soon I'm gonna go down to where I'm just pressing the bar by itself. And of course, like I explained earlier, is the reason why I do this is because you definitely want to get those reps in. So you notice right here I get pretty tired. I'm starting to let the bar rest on my chest for a minute, for a few seconds. And then right here, just kind of repping it out again. And I get to the point where I just can't do anymore. You know, you start off with a heavier weight and keep going lighter and lighter, keep dropping it, and just keep pressing, keep repping it out. And then it got to the point where I told myself 5 more. And then I did 5, and then I think I did like plus 1 or 2 more after that. So it was pretty good. That was a pretty good set, I must say. And after doing that, I went ahead and jumped into doing some pull-ups. I went ahead and jumped in doing some pull-ups. The reason why I do the pull-ups right there like that on the Smith machine as opposed to like a raised bar, like a high bar, is because I like to be able to have my legs come down and touch the ground on the way down. And I'm still putting all of the stress on my back, on my lats, but it's allowing me to go back down to the bottom to that full stretch and stay there for a bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and y'all take care. Like and subscribe.